Welcome everyone, this is Pilot Needles and you're listening to LOTRO Players News, where we take a look at lasers and LOTRO and here at LOTRO Players. And this week we have with us Sanswinda.
Hello.
Werendus.
Hello everyone.
And Krister.
Hello.
Hello everyone. How's everyone doing on this Thanksgiving weekend?
Pretty good.
Turkey-licious.
Turkey-licious. All right.
Well, my level up day is tomorrow, so, that's coming up.
All right, then. Let's go in and find out what's in the game news this week, which isn't much because, as I just said, it was Thanksgiving weekend, which means Tiny Stone Games was off from the office for half the week, but we do have a post here talking about Winterfest 2022, which is scheduled for December 10th. Winterfest 2022 this is Crick Hollow's celebration of winter music, and that'll be on December 9th through 11th on the lake below Thorns Hall. And this will be presented by Second Breakfast. So that'll be on the 9th for the Bread and Jam on Ice. Then on the 10th, they will have the scheduled bands going from 2 p.m. till 10 p.m. And then on the 11th, we will have even more bands. So there are, looks like 16 bands scheduled for this year. So that is quite a lineup.
Oh, and everybody's getting an hour. That'll be fun.
Yes, this is pretty much Crick Hollow's. I'm not sure whether to equate it to winter stock or to weather stock, but this is Crick Hollow's biggest event that I can think of off the top of my head. For
Why not both stock?
Both stock, yes. And that is Winterfest 2022 on Crick Hollow. Now, let's head into our store sales. Calipathian, what's on sale this weekend?
I don't want to tell him.
Who?
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Guarendus.
I ain't gonna read all that if you call me the wrong name.
Wait, wrong day of the show and everything goes haywire. All right,
well,
Krister. Oh, okay.
Yeah, make Krister do it.
Okay, yes, okay.
Great.
Yes.
Another C name.
All right, so it's LOTRO bonus days for everybody but Krister, obviously. LOTRO bonus days, they bring you a VIP event boost available through November 27th. So in the LOTRO market, we've got Black Friday deals on expansions in the LOTRO market. That's going on through the 28th. You get 85% off of Minas Morgul, 60% off War of Three Peaks, 25% off Fate of Gundabad. We also are going to get 75% off Gondorian supplier horns, 50% off housing party. See, that's I party too much. Housing property writs, and 35% off stable master stands. It's double points are back. There goes my Thanksgiving money. Get twice the bonus points, and that's through November 28th as well. And then Friends of Radagast get 20% off. Select pets and kites, select house items, select amounts, and that is through December 1st. We got a bunch of moving targets on these dates.
Yes.
And then the weekly coupon is for 5 free battle potions of restoration. The coupon code is Battler Store 5. So BATTLERESTORE 5. And that is through December 1st as well.
Thank you, Krister. Now let's head into the site news where we have a guide by Squirrel, his guide to delvings. That's right. all you need to know about how to run the delvings from Update 34. And he goes on about, first of all, where do you find the missions that include delvings? In other words, all the missions that are in the new zone, in Cardolan, and in Swanfleet. It shows each of the encampments, and he even had in here an encampment I didn't know about because apparently there's just one little mission that's at this location. I have no idea why they set up a mission camp at a place that only gives one mission in the entire cycle, but that's what they did. And it goes over all the places you get the missions. He gives a list of all the missions, and then he's telling you how to upgrade your mission into a delving and how to work with the delvings. He talks about choosing the difficulty, what happens with it when you do it, and then what you could do with your rewards from the delvings in there. So you could follow the link in the show notes to get out more information on that. And that is Help! I'm Delving. And that's Squirrel's Guide to Delving. And we actually have another guide this week, and that is the first installment in a long time to Punley's Pictorial Primer to Skirmishing, and this time we have one for the Doom of Karis Gelebrin. And of course, this is the newest of the skirmishes that we have, the one that was just released with Update 34, where I go over the mobs, the encounters, and the loot and things like that. Of course, it's a very new skirmish, so there's still a couple of things that are a little bit on the tentative nature in there. But this is a start, and of course, the first skirmish guide that has been posted in a long time. And that's it for site news, unless anyone else has anything to add. Nope.
Well, now that we're getting into the holidays, I think it's just important to remind everybody about how wonderful I am and just what a spectacular person I've been for years. So.
Good timing. Though I hear the coal can sometimes be delicious, depending on the brand and like whether or not it's bubblegum.
Yeah, I often get coal from my kinmates for for the holidays. But hey, you just turned it into a positive. I have heat the entire winter, so
yeah, I suppose that would be the case. Let's head into our week in gaming. Krister, what were you up to when you weren't trying to collect coal?
Well, I was, of course, eating turkey and then subsequently taking long, delirium-ridden naps after the turkey consumption. And it was very, very quiet on the LOTRO front this week. However, everything should be back to normal next week. And so we tried of course, the skirmish and didn't understand the mechanics at all. So we got slaughtered many times. And then, but now we understand the crucial mechanics of defending the gates. And so looking forward to doing that next time.
Oh, yeah, minor detail.
I'm just curious, having run it, is the loot disappointing, or is it? Have you gotten some decent loot out of it?
Well, I've gotten an upgrade from there on a couple of occasions. And,
cool. Okay.
And I've also gotten a couple of cosmetics in there. Also, like for example, today when running it, I had an elven anvil drop. So of course, picking an anvil after it falls is, of course, a completely different matter.
That's awesome.
I mean, maybe it depends on if it was tipped over intentionally.
Right. Oh yes, of course, yes. They can be very hard to use after they're tipped over. We all know that.
I just have this mental image of Looney Tunes, from Coyote.
Oh boy. And then, of course, Thanksgiving was the all-consuming thing here, and so. But I actually been brushed off a game I bought a while back, but its launch had gone so poorly that I kind of put it on the shelf. But it was No Man's Sky, and I have I've transformed from a timid, terrified person who, it was almost like that old movie Explorers, where they go out in the tin can, they build a spaceship out of a trash can and a toaster, and then they go into outer space and they're all scared. But now I confidently stride across the galaxy like Darth Vader. So it's been a wonderful transformation, and it's just a beautiful game too. So I've been having a lot of fun with that. Gware, what did you get up to this mysterious turkey week?
Well, my dwarf captain is level 30 and close to finishing Cardalin. The question is, where does he go from here? The way that the person you're following through the zones had spoken is that, we'll do this stuff and then we'll travel up to Bree. So I'm going to presume I'll go ahead and do the prologue in Bree really quickly and move on to, I guess, the Troll Shaws. But yeah, that's the one thing I'm kind of curious about, how they're going to handle directing us towards other zones after we finish that area. So yeah, I'll report back. I ran a group in the starting area with my kin today. That was, much fun was had. Even though we were all going different directions, my kin leader had mentioned something about herding cats. They're close, but we had a lot of fun. And the girls of Middle Earth were amateur geologists this evening. And then we went and finished the Shire prologue and got started on the Bree prologue and attempted to bake 420 blackbirds into a pie at Langland's camp. Sans, what did you get up to?
Well, besides failing to actually collect 420 blackbirds, to my chagrin, but probably your joy, I ran Karis Glebrin for the first time with Pineleaf. And I have to say, Fishslapping Sauron was a highlight. Though it would have been even better if it was more effective, because he kind of just ignored me. And then I visited the 2 new rocks with girls and enjoyed the scenery from the top of them. And I did try to collect 420 blackbirds, but there weren't nearly that many. And then
they didn't all cooperate either.
That's true. Some of them were like, nah, I don't really want any exercise. And then, in other gaming, I spent some time in Pokemon Violet this week. And have been enjoying looking for and defeating the Terra raids, so. And got some EVs from that with the event this weekend, too. So, that was pretty cool. How was your week, Pineleaf?
And I'll begin with my Landro Warden, who was spending most of the week during research for the new skirmish. And that is the reason why I managed to get this guide out just a few minutes before we open up the show today. Then my new Runekeeper, who just got to level 30-ish, whatever. When I got to level 30, what I decided to do was to ignore the recommendation that was in there, and I just ran through missions and through the new skirmish, because that's appropriate for the current zone that we were in. And then I got to level 32, and from there I went over to the Troll Shaws, where I, of course, started chasing around a Nazgul who we managed to chase off, but alas, he got away. Maybe we could find him somewhere else afterwards. Then last night, the Mythgard Kinship attempted the Anvil. So this was my first attempt at the Anvil raid.
So by attempted, I assume you mean you guys were successful.
No. The first two, we managed to get by the first 2 bosses, but we could not figure out how to get Kariskar and Remil, how to get them down, because as soon as you get them down, then they go into the thing where the only thing you can do is to knock down icicles, and we had a lot of trouble getting the icicles down and a lot of trouble moving in, because I was tanking there, and by the time we got to that point, I can't move because I've got this frozen debuff on me that means I can't move. So you have a tank who's stuck, and you have a boss that you need to move. A little bit of a problem here.
Agreed.
Yeah, so that was a little bit of a problem that we never could quite grasp. And we learned, too much to our dismay, that for some reason, with the guides they had out for the Anvil of Winterstith, not a single one of them talked about that particular boss fight. Why? I have absolutely no idea. I think they just decided, let's make this tough on everybody as much as possible. Because, yeah, there were absolutely no guides out for that particular fight. So we're saying if we get a hint on what we can do. Anyway, things just weren't going right on there when we tried to finish that out. And that's it for my week in LOTRO. We currently have 16 supporters on Patreon. If you'd like to join this illustrious array of players and help support LOTRO players, you can go to the donations page. We can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. Your money may be used for podcast hosting, website hosting, and to pay for our live shows. If you would like to email us, you could send it to podcast@loachplayers.com, and you can also follow us at Twitter, the Players Alliance @PlayersAlliance, Loach Players @LoachPlayers, Pineleaf @PineleafNeedles, Sanswinda @Sanswinda, Guarendis @Guarendis, and Krister @Entropy Engine 1. The Players Alliance has 2 shows. Usually on Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. usage time, we record LOTRO Players News, and we record DDO Players News when Drac is available. You can join us for our shows at loachplayers.com/live. And that's all for tonight. And this is Pineleaf Needles reminding you to skirmish responsibly.